Hello, everyone. Good morning or good afternoon, as per your respective time zones. On behalf of entire Mastek Managed Services team, we would like to welcome you all to 23B Workforce Management and Payroll Advisory webinar session. This important session is to keep you fully synchronized with new features and functionalities as a part of this quarterly release, which Oracle provides. My name is Sohil Malik, and I am an operations executive at Managed Services with Mastek. Today, I'm your host for this session, and I'm glad to introduce my colleague Prateek Mistry, who is part of our vast HCM team at Mastek. Today, he will take us through all the workforce management and payroll updates for 23-week quarterly release. Today's session is planned for around 45 to 60 minutes, and we will also make sure that we also leave some time to answer all your questions you may have. We also have panelists available, Pratham Daswani, so you can ask any questions through chat or question panel. Before we move to the agenda, let's have a quick look at the important disclaimer. We would like to convey you our approach towards the Oracle updates in a very simpler method. We will be taking you through vital analysis for 23B updates done by our experts, which will help you incorporating new features and updates easily into the system. Also, we will sync you on any bugs or known issues if there are any. It's good to have an interactive session, so please do ask questions through chat or question panel. We will answer them at the end of the session. In case we run out of time, we will make sure to respond you back by connecting you at a later stage to answer all your questions. This is to give you a glimpse of how we have crafted the structure of this session. List of new features coming to 23B, detailing on features so you get brief understanding on what new features are all about. Next one is what are the business benefits and the important takeaway for you as a decision maker. There are four components where we have done in-depth analysis of features which we are going to present to you. First one is impact level analysis, which demonstrate the impact on the end user. If it's low impact, then regression testing can be avoided. If it's high, then we need to opt for regression testing. Second one is which is we are all aware that there are some features which are by default auto enabled by Oracle, and there are some which we need to opt for. Third one highlights the nature of the feature. There would be certain configuration which may be required, or some can be used without any changes. Last one is a quick win. This term we use to simply convey that what is ready to use by investing minimum amount of time and what requires significant amount of time and effort to make use of this feature. Now, before we hand over to Prateek, we would like to know with the help of a quick poll, which industry does your organization belong to? This will help us creating more fruitful webinar content moving forward. Launching the poll now. Thank you everyone for participating. We will be closing the poll now. Hi Ronak, I'll be handing over to you now. Please unmute yourself and begin the session.
Thanks, Soil. Hello, everyone. Welcome to 23P webinar for Workforce Management Structure and Payroll. So before we go to our today's agenda and start going through each and every feature that Oracle has given in the next release, let's have a look at the summary of the features that Oracle is providing in the next release. Okay, so as Soil just explained, the different categories that we have categorized different features introduced by Oracle in next release. We have prepared the summary. So Oracle has given total 41 new features in 23B with respect to workforce management and payroll, out of which total 29 features falls under the quick wins category as per our analysis, and the rest are falls under the remaining categories. Okay, moving forward. So based on our analysis, we have categorized all these features in different categories and combined them as per the default with no configuration required, or if it requires configuration, or if it needs to be opted in, and if there are any OTBA enhancements or non-issues. Starting with the very first category, which is the features which falls under the quick wins category and does not require any major configuration or no configuration to use them. First feature under this category is related to global payroll, and the feature is search for values defined by criteria. Now, as you must have seen that we use values defined by criteria in payroll to capture the different values which are used to calculation in different allowances. Now, Oracle has given a feature in which you can search for the values and criteria in this values defined by criteria, where the values and criteria are in large number. By giving this capability, Oracle has improved the performance of this page, as payroll manager or payroll administrator can now search for the specific criteria and values in the value defined by criteria, where the large number of criteria are created. So this is really good feature and can save some time for payroll managers and payroll administrator. This falls under quick win category and has low impact. The next feature under the same category is report format issues. So currently we are having many reports that payroll administrator or payroll manager uses on a periodic basis. Now in this release, Oracle has provided a translation feature for all of this report, in which based on logged in users regional and language setting, the report format can be translated into the standard output formats such as MS Excel, PDF and XML. The list of reports that will support this feature from upcoming release are listed here. The main benefit of this feature is for the organization which are using any other regional language for Oracle Cloud HCM suite and want to produce or generate the report in their regional language. So this feature is very useful for such customers. This falls under the quick win and the impact level of this feature is low. The next feature under the same category is candidate records no longer displayed in the payroll. So in many of the payroll responsive pages, where such as the payroll relationship page or personal payment method page or calculation entry page, where we can search the person, in that you must have noticed that candidate records also appear along with the regular employees. In this feature, Oracle has now restricted the candidate records from being appeared on these LOAs, so that it only shows the records or the person types which are applicable to payroll product and not any other types. However, Oracle has given this functionality in controlled manner, so you can still enable or disable the display of candidate records on these pages. Oracle has given a profile option. The default value of this profile option will be no. It means no candidate records would be displayed on any of these pages. However, if you wish to enable or you want to display the candidate records on these pages, you can go and change the value of this profile option to yes. This feature is useful because it prevents the unnecessary records from being displayed on this payroll related pages and avoid any transaction being made for those. This falls under quick win category and the impact level is low. The next feature under the same category is navigate to the event notification page for a person. So event notification page is related to retro and proration events, where different events are generated if employee has any backdated changes or mid-month changes. Now, payroll manager or payroll administrator can navigate through different person professional pages such as element entry pages, payroll relationship pages, calculation card pages from this single page. Now, Oracle has given a person subheader as well as smart navigation window on event notification page, which can be accessed to navigate through other person professional pages. So this feature is useful. So now, and it saves payroll administrator or payroll manager's time by giving them ability to navigate through different person pages with while keeping the person number and person search date context as it is. This feature is also falls under quick win and impact level is low. The next feature under this category is enhancements to responsive person costing page. Now, many of you might be using the person level overrides for the payroll costing process. Now, if you are having such cases where you split employees payroll cost into more than one cost account, then this feature can be helpful because Oracle has enhanced this feature where you can delete particular cost account entry without deleting entire cost combination. For an example, as you can see on screen, if employee has a cost center cost split between two different cost centers, 60-40%, and it's at certain date, this cost center allocation needs to be changed to a single cost center, then instead of deleting entire cost combination, you can now delete only one entry from the given entry. By doing this, Oracle has enhanced the costing process or cost allocation process by giving the effective diff information on this page, and so that costing allocation can be managed more effectively on all the person level. This feature is currently available on person level costings such as payroll relationship costing, payroll assignment costing, payroll relationship element costing, and payroll assignment element costing. The next feature in the same category is rollback process errors action from process result page. So currently, whenever payroll manager or payroll admin submits any flow, and if that particular flow has any records in error, then under the payroll checklist, we get an option to roll back on any errors by selecting that flow instance. Now, Oracle has given the same feature on two more pages, person results as well as process result summary, which allows payroll manager to access and roll back the payroll related errors for more ways. So this also falls under quick win category and impact level is low, but it is very useful feature. The next feature in the same category is related to Canada payroll, and it's only applicable to the organization who are processing the payroll for the workforce in the Canada. The name's HDL support of payroll assignment for Canadian information. In this feature, Oracle has given an ability to load certain assignment level Canadian information using HCM data loader for the payroll assignment detail object. The fields that you can load using this feature using HCM data loader are given below. The fields are Indian exempt status, worker compensation exempt, worker compensation override information, such as the ones which are listed below. This is useful feature for the organization who are processing the payroll of their employees working in Canada legislation, because this feature supports the ability to load the assignment level information for these employees using HCM data loader, and avoiding any manual data entries or intervention required. The next feature in the same category is applicable only for the organization who are processing the salaries for the workforce in India legislation. It is investment proof verification and approvals. As a payroll user, You can now verify and approve the documents of proof invested submitted by the employees for the current financial year. In addition, payroll manager can also bulk upload the statuses of the verified proof of documents to the calculation cards. Along with payroll manager and payroll users, employee can also view the status of the submitted document of proof by viewing the summary report or in the employee self-service portal or by viewing the summary report task. The summary report will, which is being available to employees, will display the submitted amount, the approved amount, and the status with the comments. So this is really useful feature for the organization who are operating in India region and processing the salaries of the employees using Oracle Payroll Cloud. Because this particular feature will give the payroll manager a single window from where they can verify and approve the documents of proof of investment submitted by their employees, and that helps to be compliant with the legislative requirements. The next feature in the same category is applicable to Oman payroll. In this feature, Oracle has given a fully operational statement of earning and payslip for the Oman payroll. So statement of earnings and payslip are the terminologies which many of you might already be aware who are not who are working or who are using the payroll for other legislation. But for Oman, Oracle has just released these features. So statement of earnings can be used to view the person results processed during the period. It will include the information such as net earnings, gross earnings, employer charges, pre-statutory deduction, etc. Also, the payslip will be automatically generated as part of the payroll post-payroll processes. And by default, the generated payslip would be in English. However, it can be translated into the correspondence language as per the client's requirement. The benefit of this feature is that payroll team and payroll manager can now validate the results of payroll run in advance before they go and process the transfer of salaries. So this is really useful feature for the organization who are using or processing the payments for their workforce in Oman. The next feature in the same category is transfer payments. It is also applicable to Oman payroll. In this feature, Oracle has given a transfer employee payment, given an ability to transfer the employee payments via different modes, such as electronic fund transfer or by printing checks, by cash, or also process the international transfer. Currently, the EFT process provided will use the Oman electronic fund transfer system. However, you can also use the check or you can also create your own template to generate the bank files in order to process the employee salaries. However, in order to generate the EFT or check, still the personal payment method or the bank account details needs to be captured at the person level. This feature is very useful because now this will enable organizations to process the employee salary and their chosen way or method. The next feature in the same category is real-time information reporting for tax year 2023-2024. This is only applicable for UK payroll, as in UK, the customers who are using Oracle payroll in UK, and we have now entered into a new tax year starting from April. So Oracle has now given the legislative updates related to real-time information applicable to FPS and EPS in our next release, in which Oracle has provided a new flow called run full payment submission for tax year ending 2024 to generate and submit the FPS to HMRC. Also, for EPS, there is no change as compared to last year, because in last year only, Oracle has given one generic flow called run EPS to generate and submit the EPS files to HMRC. So in this year also, we are going to use the same flow to generate the EPSs for every period. However, we'll have to keep in mind that the run EPS flow is only effective from the tax year starting 2022 and 2023. For any employer payment submission prior to that date needs to use a specific run employer payment summary for tax year flow for that particular tax year. The organization will benefit from that updates because it will allow them to stay legislatively compliant with HMRC's rules for new tax year 2023-2024. The next feature for UK payroll is annual benefit statements for benefits in kind. Now, many organizations in UK process taxable benefits using the payroll. So Oracle has provided now new process called Run Employee Payroll Benefit Statements to provide a statement showing the amount of taxable benefit for each benefit processed through payroll for the employees. This statement can be run for specific TRU or can be restricted for specific group of person as well as the process configuration group. If any employee, so Oracle gives a functionality where you can payroll the benefits as well as you can use it for P11D reporting. So for any employee, if at any point of time in a tax year, if the taxable benefit was changed for P11D reporting, then only only taxable cost which is processed in payroll will appear in the statement. The ones which are tagged for the P11D reporting will not appear in this statement. This feature is very important because the annual benefit statements is required to comply with the legislative requirement for the tax year 2023-2024. Next feature introduced by Oracle in UK payroll is payroll of benefits in kind for tax year 2023-2024. In this feature, Oracle has given a legislative updates for taxable benefits processed through payroll effective from 6 April 2023. There are no major changes in the rates or threshold of any of the taxable benefits currently available in the UK. However, there are some changes in car, van, and fuel benefit introduced from 6 April 2023. So Oracle has given updates for those changes. The more details around all the different changes that are introduced by Oracle in 2023 are given on Oracle's release notes. I have included the link to release note document in this slide, which you can access at the end of the session. This PPT will be shared with you. These enhancements will enable you to stay legislatively compliant with changes for tax year 2023-2024. The next feature under the same category for UK payroll is P11D expenses and benefit statement for tax year 2022-2023. Under this, Oracle has included some new templates as well as modified the existing templates to make them compliant with legislative requirement and to reflect the correct tax year on that. So there are three major changes that Oracle has given with respect to the templates. A new set of templates for the P11D expenses and benefit statements, and all worksheets would be available for tax year 2022-2023. Also, Oracle has updated the existing templates to reflect the correct tax year in that. Also, the worksheet templates are improved and updated to reflect the correct values and amounts that will be used in the calculation of derived benefit cash equivalent amounts. The next change that Oracle has done with this in this feature is the XML file that gets submitted to HMRC at the end of the tax year. Oracle has updated this XML fields to reflect the correct tax year in it 2022-2023 as part of this feature. The more detail around all the different changes that Oracle has introduced with respect to P11D expense and benefit statement are included in Oracle's release notes, the link of which I have added in this slide, which you can refer back later at the end of the session. The benefit to the organization from this update is that they can now comply with legislative requirement introduced by HMRC. The next feature for UK payroll is P46 car report for tax year 2023-2024. We are currently using the process run P46 car process to provide the information to HMRC if employee is using company cars. Now, the XML files generated by this particular process is at the end submitted to HMRC. So Oracle in this feature, Oracle has updated that XML file to reflect the correct text here, that is 2023-2024. This process has been also enhanced to with some validation checks on CO2 emission and zero mileage fields to ensure that data sent is not rejected by the HMRC. There are three major validation that are introduced here. So if employee's car registration date is before 1998 and the CO2 emission entered is more than is zero, then system will throw an error. Second, if employees if the details added for car is having zero emission mileage and the car added has no approved CO2 emission, in that case also system will throw an error. Third is make and model fields. So make and model fields acceptable by HMRC are the length of that field are 35 character. So to avoid rejection at the HMRC, Oracle has now combined these two fields to make sure that the length of this field submitted to HMRC is not more than 35 characters. So these are three major validation that Oracle has given to streamline this process. And the last update with respect to P45.6 is the output file generated by this process is updated to use correct text here, that is 2023-24. This feature will also enable you to comply with the legislative requirement released for tax year 2023-24. The next feature in the same category for UK payroll is legislative changes for the tax year 2023 and 24. With this update, Oracle has given all legislative changes that are applicable to tax calculation rates, threshold, national insurance, student loans, statutory payments, etc., for UK, Scotland, and Wales, effective from 6 April 2023. These updates will help organization to be compliant with the legislative requirements for the tax year 2023-24. The next feature in this same category is related to absence. It is integration of global absences with external application. This feature is important for the organization which are using integration of Oracle's absence module with external application, because in this, Oracle has now provided more parameters which can be used in REST APIs while fetching the absence entries for an employee. Oracle has introduced below three parameters: person number, employee, and absence type. The benefit of this feature would be that you can now fetch the absence entries for a particular person or a particular legal employer or a particular absence type. Will improve the performance of overall integration process as well as give better experience. The next feature in the same category is review warning message before withdrawing accrual and deleting enrollments. In this feature, Oracle has enhanced an absence process which is used to withdraw the accruals and delete the enrollments from the employees' absence plans. In this, Oracle has given a warning message. So whenever employee submits the process, it will pop up a warning message, which will ask if they want to review the parameter one more time or not. So this will help avoiding any mistakes from happening while deleting or withdrawing the accruals and enrollments. So this is very useful feature. If user will select yes, then system will take the user back to the parameter screen where they can review the parameter one more time before submitting. If they will select no, then process will be submitted. The next feature under the same category is purge old unused absence processing data. This is more of a technical feature that Oracle has introduced, but is important from the perspective of the system performance and absence processing. So normally Oracle logs put some logs in the backend tables whenever any absence is being processed in the application. Earlier, Oracle was not deleting the data from this table periodically, but now at every quarter, Oracle will purge these tables to improve the system performance. There are some criteria that Oracle will check before purging the records from these two tables, which are given below. The next feature in the same category is related to time and labor. First feature in this is web clock missing in enhancement. Here, Oracle has given an optional comment field while any user submits the missing in time using web clock. So it will expedite the review and approval process for the approver whenever any employee requests the missing in time changes. This is a very useful feature and expedite the approval process. The next feature in the same category is time change for events enhancement. It is similar to the previous one, only the same comment field is given on the different area, which is time change. Okay, so whenever user request for a time change, at that time they can provide a comment which will help approver to verify the request quickly and expedite the approval process. The next feature in the same category is geolocation address for events with geolocation coordinates. In this feature, Oracle has given a capability to determine the physical address from where the time was entered on the time events page. On time events page, Oracle has given an action called generate geolocation addresses, which will generate the physical addresses for the time event submitted if they have the geolocation details captured. Here, by default, the geolocation address column would not be visible. If time manager or time admin want to see these columns, they can go in under view columns and add the geolocation address columns, as we can see on the picture below. Also, Oracle has provided an export functionality, so a time manager or time administrator can optionally export the time events along with their physical addresses. This enhancement will make it easy to determine the physical address from where time event was submitted. So this is also a good feature that is being introduced by Oracle in 23B. With this, we have completed all the features which falls under the quick win category and does not require any configuration to use and are available to use as soon as 23B updates are applied on your environment. The next category is the quick win feature, which can be used with little or more configuration. So the first feature in this category is related to global payroll. It is configure the absence and time fields on the calculation entries page. So calculation entries page is an area from where you can see the calculation entries which are going to be processed using the payroll and which are coming from different sources such as calculation card, time, absences, and standard element entries. So far on this page, you can only see the details of the entries related to calculation card, pensions, etc. etc. For absence and time, it was not showing the detail. In 23B, Oracle has given the fields that you can enable on this page and see more details with respect to the payroll calculation for absence and time related entries. To enable this and to fields, we'll have to use the HCM Design Studio to configure these fields on calculation entries page. The fields which are available for configuration for both absence and time are given below. This feature would be useful for time manager or time admin to check that what all entries would be processed for any particular employee in a very particular period. So this is a useful feature. The next feature in this category is related to absence. Descriptive flex field attributes for configuring approval rules. So many of your organization might be already using the business specific fields, which we call as a DFF on absence page. Now Oracle has given a feature in which you can use this business specific DFFs to drive your approvals, and you can create approval rules based on this. So in this feature is really useful for the organization who wants to drive their absence approval based on the business specific fields. Okay, so these were the two features which falls under the quick win category and can be used with little or some configuration. The next category is quick win opt-in. This would be the features which will require enabling or business decision to use with little or more configuration. The first feature in this category is related to global payroll. Parameter submission enhancements on the flow submission page. This feature has enhanced the parameters person and location on the payroll flows. So now that user can just enter the part of the parameter value in these fields to quickly search the specific person and location. By default, these two fields will have type to search text as a placeholder whenever you go on any flow submission page which have the person and location as the parameter. For all seeded flows, this feature will automatically be available 23B onwards. However, if you are using any user-defined flows, to enable this feature, you will need to use the run feature upgrade flow for a particular flow with the feature name as flow parameter for lazy load, as shown in the picture. Okay, so by enabling this quick search functionality for location and person parameters on the flow submission page, it will ensure the enhanced performance and usability with the page. So this is one good feature that Oracle has introduced. The next feature in the same category is Redwood experience for year-end documents. Now, many of your organization have already noticed that Oracle is rolling out new UI in every releases, which is Redwood. Redwood is nothing but it's redesigned, enhanced user experience tool based on the Visual Basics. In this release, Oracle is enabling this UI for year-end documents page available on Employee Self-Service. This page will not be available by default, but can be enabled using the profile options provided by Oracle. The profile option Aura Pay and Year End Documents Redwood enable. If it's set to yes, the users employees logged in from self-service would be able to experience the enhanced Redwood UI. The redesigned page in the Redwood will offer you the following. So in this page, you can by default view the year-end documents for 3 years. The user will also have an option to put the start date and end date to view the year-end documents between a certain date range. If an employee has more than one payroll relationship, then document pertaining to each relationship would appear under year-end documents. Also, this particular page will give an option to view the PDF preview within the system on this particular year-end document page. So this is really good feature, and it's a UI for the future that we'll have to opt going forward to give our end user a better experience. The next feature in this category is future absence processing option for same and impacted absence types. So now whenever we add or enter any absence, if entry of that absence impacts the entitlements or accruals created for any future dated absence, then now we have an absence to control the what amount of future absence should be evaluated or processed again. Now for this, Oracle has provided a configuration on absence batch job configuration page where you can either select all absences or only impacted absences. If the option selected is all absences, then application will continue to function like it used to, and it will reprocess and reevaluate all the absence whenever you add an absence entry, and future absence entries are available. If you select only impacted absences, in that case, system will not go and reprocess each and every future rated absence. Rather, it will only reprocess the absence of the same type or the other absences which are sharing the same plan as the absence type being entered. This feature is very useful to improve the absence processing performance for future dated absence by processing only the future absences of the same absence type or any impacted absences that are part of a shared or concurrent plan. The next feature in this category is Redwood experience for cash disbursement. In this feature, Oracle has enabled a Redwood experience, Redwood UI for the cash disbursement page available in employee self-service. This is very useful feature because it will give an end user a good the experience of the Redwood's high fidelity interactions. The next feature in this category is Redwood experience for donation. It is similar to the previous one. In this feature, Oracle has enabled the Redwood UI on the donation page, enable on the employee self-service. This page will also give a better user experience to our end users. With this, we have completed all the features which are introduced, which are falling under the category of quick win, but requires business decision before enabling it with little or more configuration. The next category are the rest, which does not fall under any of the previously described categories. First feature in this category is India payroll. This is very high impact and very useful addition to Oracle's cloud suite that Oracle has done in 23B. So far, Oracle Cloud HCM was not supporting India payroll. Now, from 23B onwards, Oracle expands its global footprint to support Oracle Fusion Cloud Payroll for India. And the key features which are available in the newly introduced India payroll are as below. It will be able to process all statutory deduction with the required data capture. It includes the calculation of income tax computation with the required data capture. It gives an employee self-service function such as investment declaration and submission of investment proof, etc., etc. I have added a link to Oracle's release note for this feature in this slide, which you can refer back at the end of this session. This feature will enable our organization which are operating in India or processing having workforce in India to leverage the various features of Oracle Fusion Cloud Payroll for India to efficiently manage the different aspects of payroll in their organization. The next feature in this category is compute termination payments for the employees. We can now process the termination payment for the employees as given below. So this is also applicable to India payroll. So termination payments such as leave encashment, death, retirement gratuity, commuted pension, voluntary retirement scheme, retrenchment compensation, etc. can be processed using this feature. And this is useful feature as it allows you to process the termination payments while complying to the tax exemption rules defined as per the income tax department. The next feature in this category is applicable to Oman payroll. So in this feature, Oracle has given predefined element templates for various allowances for Oman payroll. So using this template, you can define various allowances such as social allowance or any other earning allowance like basic salary, overtime, etc. for your organization. This is very useful because it gives you the template which indirectly in backend will create more fast formulas, balance, and calculation value definition required for this calculation automatically. The next feature in this category is hide or show save and close option in add absence page. So in this feature, absence, Oracle has given an ability to hide or show the save and close button available to employee and manager while they enter any absence. So this feature can be used with some modification or some configuration done through HCM Transaction Design Studio. And this is very useful feature because using this you can decide if you want to you want to display the save and close button or hide it and leaving only the submit and cancel button to the page on employee and manager self-service. The next feature in this category is compensatory absence plan updated after time card approval. So currently, if any employee applies for time in leave from time card, then the relevant compensatory absence plan are updated as soon as the time entry is added or saved by the employee on time card, even if it's not approved. At the later, if this entry is rejected, the balance added to the compensatory plan is not reversed. In this feature, Oracle has enhanced this process, and now, until and unless the time off and leave request has been approved by manager, the compensatory absence plan balance will not be updated. This will save our time managers and absence administrators some time in rectifying some the mistaken time entries or absence entries. The next feature in the same category is predefined partial period proration and rounding rules for accrual plans. So currently in our current uh, absence plans, to handle the accrual balance calculation for mid-month hire or mid-month leavers, we have to write the fast formula to handle the proration rules. But now Oracle has given an option by choosing which you can redefine this proration rules or rounding rules on absence plan level only. So this is one useful feature which removes the dependency on the technical aspects and gives us the flexibility to handle the proration and the rounding for such scenarios on absence plan level using configuration only. The next feature, the same category, is enhancements to the events framework for absence processing. So this is more from a technical perspective, but currently, whenever we are applying any absence, the absence processing in the background uh, runs synchronously with the notification as well as evaluation. So if one process goes in error, the evaluation might also end up in error. In this feature, Oracle has decoupled these two processes so that the absence notification trigger might end up in error, but it will not impact the absence evaluation, and hence the absence entitlement or the accrual balances will reflect correctly. So the benefit of this feature is on the overall performance and reliability on the events framework. The next feature in the same category is compensatory absence plan after time card approval. This feature is same as what we just saw, which restricts the compensatory absence plan from being updated if the time card entry against time off and leave is not approved yet. But Oracle has given the same feature in both time and labor and absence because it's relevant to both area. So we'll skip this, going to next. Absence is measured in days included on time card. So this was the most awaited feature. So currently, till previous version, Oracle only supports hours-based absences to be used or submitted by the time card. But from 23B onwards, we can also allow employees to use or to submit or edit the day-based absence using time cards. So this enhancement is very important because it improves the productivity and lets people report the absences measured in hours or days in their time cards directly. The next feature in this category is time and labor and absence management integration enhancements. In this feature, Oracle will now allow to view and edit the open-ended absences once they have been edited on absence page on time card. We can now also manage the absences for non-work days on the time card. So this particular feature is part of the new integration architecture between Oracle Fusion Cloud and Oracle Cloud Absence Management. To enable this feature, we'll need to run feature upgrade process with with the feature as upgrade time repository for new integration. Upgrading to the new integration architecture will improve how people report on view absences on the time cards and the time card reprocessing. The next feature in the same category is enhanced time card search. So in this feature, Oracle has now enabled the Redwood UI on team time cards page, which will enable the payroll time administrator or time managers to filter these pages based on more other criteria such as a job, department, position, etc., and gives better user experience while using this page. So this is really good update in terms of Redwood UI rollout. The more details on what all different features are available on the newly enabled Redwood UI for on team timecards page are available on the release notes given by Oracle. I have added the link to that page in the slide. The next feature that Oracle has given is enhanced time card. In this feature, Oracle has also enabled the Redwood UI on the time card entry page that is available to the employee self-service as well as managers. So now where we were able to see only classic or responsive page while an employee or manager adds the time card, it is now improved with newly redesigned Redwood UI. So it gives our end user a better experience and improves performance. This particular page also includes some more user specific details on the header, such as who this time card is being submitted from, what is the status of the time card, what is the time card period, etc. Also it will have some page level actions available, such as save, cancel, submit, or print and reject the time card. With this, we have completed all the features that Oracle has introduced in their 23B release, categorized as per as per Mastek's analysis. The next category is OTBI enhancement. In 23B, Oracle has not given any enhancement or features related to OTBI, so we don't have any feature in this category. The next is known issues. In this category, we'll be looking at any known issues that were there and are still continuing in the upcoming releases, or any newly issues introduced or identified in the current release. So the first issue that has been carried forward from the previous release is absence OTBI subject areas hide certain absence for multi-assignment employees. In this, the manager of an employee with multiple assignment can view all the person level absences on the page in OTBI unless a person level absence is entered using advanced mode. It means whenever employee adds the person level absence using advanced mode, and if the manager is using an OTBI report to see these entries, the entries from all the different assignments are not appearing there. This is a known issue, and the workaround given by Oracle to prevent this discrepancy in OTBI is that the employee needs to avoid creating person level absences in advanced mode if they intend to charge only one assignment. So this is the known issue. The next known issue, which is carry forwarded from the previous release, is HCM calendars can't display overlapping resource exception. In this, when you assign multiple overlapping resource exception to an employee at the same level, they will not show correctly on the HCM calendar page available to employee. There is no workaround given for this issue by Oracle, so this issue won't be resolved because there isn't a logical reason for creating multiple resource exception that overlap each other at the same level. The application can't prevent the creation of this exception, so Oracle is advising us to avoid creating them. The next known issue that has been carried forward from the last release is individuals can view all of the responsive time cards. So on the my time card pages, then employee has logged in from the responsive page, irrespective of the days before and dates after settings done in their time entry profile, they can see all of their time card. So this is the issue. But when employee logs in from the classic UI, the days in and days before and days after settings takes effect. So this is known issue, and this issue will be fixed when customer raise a related concern and they need the ability to restrict the view of responsive time card for people. The next known issue is project number additional search field not working. This particular issue is appearing when time manager or time administrator logs in and access the team time card task, in where during advanced search, if the project number field is enabled, there is no LOV appearing in this field. However, if the task number field is added, the project number LOV will populate automatically. This is non-issue, and the workaround given for this is to use the default project number and task number advanced search criteria available in the time attribute criteria section. The next feature, the next issue that is being carried forward from the last release is task iteration status. This is related to the task iteration feature that Oracle has provided, where we can submit more than one task automatically. In this, currently we are experiencing some issue, whereas the statuses of the task iteration for the new task iteration page are not showing correctly. For example, if you have submitted one task and if you roll it back, the task iteration status shows it's corrected while it should show it rolled back. Oracle's comment on this are there is no workaround at the moment, and this issue will be corrected in the future releases so that task iteration page can reflect the correct statuses. In meantime, they advise users to go through this page via different navigation through task iteration page and process result details page. The next issue is automatic element entries issue when using worker HCM data loader. So automatic entries does not always created when an employee is hired using the worker in HCM data loader. So this issue occurs when a worker has an historical records. In that case, the automatic entries are only created the very first record that is loaded and not created for the subsequent record. For the workaround of this issue, Oracle has said that if employees hired using the worker in HCM data loader without any history records, then the automatic entry creation works fine. However, in future enhancement, Oracle is planning to deliver a new process which will automatically run after the HCM data loader on the workers are loaded to create automatic entries for all eligible records. The next known issue is incorrect warning message appears during duplicate bank account entries. This issue is related to personal payment method page. So if employee has already a bank account added, and if employee tries to add the same bank account again, then system gives the error that a bank account with given details already exists and owned by another person. Do you want to become joint owner of the bank account? This is incorrect. Instead of an error message, it should appear that employee already have the same bank account added for them. Currently, there is no workaround given for this. Data loader task results. So this is related to data loader. So currently the data loader processes such as initiate data loader process are currently not returning all the HDL process result data on the process results page. And to see all these details, we have to navigate through different navigation, which is checklist and from payroll and data exchange areas. So currently, as a workaround, Oracle has given that it is advised to refrain from reviewing the data loader results from process details page. It is recommended navigation. The recommended navigation by Oracle is to access from the checklist page using the view flow task, either from the payroll or data exchange areas. Next non-issue is submit related flow with errors or correction. When a flow status is in error or with correction, a user should not be able to submit this data flow. related flows. However, as it stands, this action is available, which is not appropriate. As a workaround, Oracle recommends that user not to submit a related flow that is in error or corrected. The next known issue is not able to create events using cost allocation DO. This is related to the retroactive costing process where which is used to generate the retroactive costing entries where there are any change in the costing related information for the past months. Currently, the cost allocation DEO is not available to create events to prorate and retrospective process the costing results based on the costing setup changes. So user won't be able to create events to prorate and retrospective processing of the cost results based on the costing setup changes in date effective modes. So currently there is no workaround for this, and costing related setup change will not be considered for the retroactive costing process. Or we have also written a note there that proration and retroactive processing was never supported in other costing levels such as payroll, department, job position, and element eligibility. The next issue that has been carried forwarded from the last release is payroll global transfer business object usability in autocompletes. So currently payroll global transfer business object displays the more attribute than it should show, and it also displays the attribute which should actually be hidden. So as a workaround, Oracle has recommended that user should not use the business object until the fix to hide the attribute is delivered. The next known issue is responsive professional payslip page smart navigation issue. Currently, the responsive smart navigation component does not contain payroll professional tasks such as element entries or payment method. That means we cannot easily move from responsive payslip page to other person related professional areas. As a workaround, Oracle has um, recommended to navigate to the another task for the same employee using either return back to the payroll work area and select another task and then search for the employee, or use global search to search for the task and then search for the employee, or we can use the quick action to select the task and then search for the employees. The next issue is TRU context not set for payroll relationship level retro entries. So normally all payroll entries, including retro entries, are allocated to TRU for calculation and reporting purpose. However, uh, currently for certain regions and legislation, this is not the case. So some retro entries are normally allocated to the period when they were earned instead of when they were paid. So for an example, as we can see here, if employee was transferred from one TRE to another TRE on 1st of September, and on 30th of September, employee has a retro entry created from August, then that particular entry is by default allocated to TRU1, which is the TRU that is active when the arrears were earned by the employee, which is wrong for some legislation. So the option to allocate the retro entries to TRU is active when the retro entries are paid, are available in some of the legislation given below: UK, Canada, China, and Mexico. Okay, the next is the replace or remove features in upcoming release. So Oracle has removed certain time-consuming processes reports which were available to payroll and replace them with the newer and lighter version of those reports. The reports which are removed from 23 B onwards are run payroll costing report, run payroll activity report, run statutory reduction register, and run payroll register report. I have given the more details around the replaced and removed reports in the link given here, which you can refer back at the end of the session. These newly given reports are enhanced, so they are much lighter version of the original previous reports, and they have scaling capabilities to handle the high volume of data. With this, I will hand over back to you, Sohail. Thank you.
Thank you, Prateek, for wonderful insights. Before we move to Q&A, with the help of a quick poll, we would like to note down your area of interest in order to organize future webinars with more value-based content. Launching the poll. Thank you everyone for participating. We'll be closing the poll now. Let's quickly move towards the Q&A part now. Hi Pratham, could you please check if you have any questions if you want to take up?
No questions in the chat.
Thank you, Pratham. You will receive an email in next couple of days time wherein presentation and session recording would be available to you at a single click. So please do look out for an email in your inbox. So these are the upcoming sessions which you can see on screen. Please register or ask your colleagues to register and be the part of the webinars. Before you leave us, we would like to have quick feedback on today's session. Launching the poll now. Thank you everyone. One last thing before you leave us. Have you attended any of our previous advisory sessions? Launching the poll. Thank you for participating. We will be closing the poll now. Thank you once again for your valuable time. Bye everyone.